One of the biggest paradoxes of watercolor is that you don't paint the lightest areas. The paper itself is your white. If you look at this painting of a flower, the main subject, the petals, I barely touched with my brush. They were left white, and I focused mainly on the background. When you're starting out, you quickly learn that if you're painting subjects against a darker background, you have to carefully paint around every single petal. But here's the problem. The background often ends up uneven or blotchy. You can see every hesitation of the brush. No matter how hard you try, a blue sky or any smooth background will look patchy. It's obvious where the brush was trying to navigate around certain shapes. It's incredibly distracting, and that chaotic texture has nothing to do with how a real sky looks. More importantly, it pulls the eye away from the flower, which is supposed to be your dominant element. For exactly these situations, there's an elegant solution: masking fluid. It's typically a latex-based, flexible substance that adheres to the paper. You use it to cover the areas you want to keep white. Once it dries, it forms a thin, rubbery layer. You can then paint right over it, and the color won't reach the paper. This allows you to paint your background freely and boldly. The watercolor simply won't stick to the masked areas. Once everything is dry, you just rub the masking fluid with your finger or a rubber cement eraser, and it peels right off. Underneath, the paper remains perfectly white and crisp. Watercolorists call this masking fluid, or sometimes frisket, which is an older, more professional term. The format you choose depends on your needs. You can buy a masking pen for precise, thin lines, perfect for cat whiskers, strands of hair, or fine blades of grass. However, in my experience, these pens dry out easily and can become unusable quickly, so only get one if you'll use it frequently. Bottled fluid is the most versatile. You can apply it in any shape, even with a brush. But a golden rule: use the cheapest, worst brush you own. Masking fluid will ruin good bristles if it dries. Pro tip: dip your brush in soapy water first. It makes it much easier to rinse out later. After the fluid is bone dry, go ahead and paint. Don't worry about going over the masked spots. When the painting is finished, let it dry completely, ideally for a few hours. Avoid using a hairdryer, as the heat can bake the latex into the paper, making it impossible to remove without tearing. Remember, the white of the paper has a completely different quality and luminosity than if you used white paint from a tube later on. Another fun technique is spattering. Dip an old toothbrush into the fluid, put on a glove, and flick the bristles to spray dots onto the paper. Paint a dark night sky over it, let it dry, peel it off, and you have stars! It's a high-impact effect for very little effort. Masking fluid offers such convincing results that it's worth trying at least once. A final thought on spontaneity. Masking fluid can sometimes feel like it restricts the natural flow of watercolor. Ask yourself, is this tool serving me, or is it holding me back? In plein air painting, where chance and speed are key, masking fluid might feel too rigid since it ties you to your initial sketch. Use it where it gives you a clear advantage, but don't be afraid to let it go when you want to be more spontaneous. Thank you for watching. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Are you enjoying this course? What other techniques are you curious about? Let me know what we should practice together next. See you in the next video. Bye.